Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Blackness Furnace with me, Robert.
With me, Pete.
I like Mo. But Robert, why are you talking so loud as soon as the thing started?
Because as
Fam,
soon as he
you're
started, he
talking
just
like
forgot
the
where
mic is
he
in your
sound checked it.
throat.
I
It's
got
like a-
excited. I thought I was a wrestler. Finally, The Rock has come back to the furnace.
Fam, you're peeking your mic.
Okay, I'll chill now. I'll chill. All right, we're back. No, sorry,
in a minute.
we're back. 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 Cool. Is that okay now?
Yeah, that's
better.
sensible.
Kilo. Cool. We're back. It's been a week, couple weeks. Life got the
Then he
best
goes
of
high
us.
again. What's wrong with this dude?
Look, the mic is all the way down here. Look,
Brother,
the mic
I
is down
got you
here.
in one ear. I got you in one ear, and you're blasting up my eardrum.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll try and
flip it up.
be a bit calm. Be a bit calm. The furnace is back, but it's a sad day today, or it'll be a sad day on Saturday
Why?
because Paper Chase is closing down on Saturday.
Yeah. I didn't know the like proper closing down. I knew that. I knew they
Yeah.
had closed a lot of their physical branches. But a couple of the notebooks that I'm really liking is from Paper Chase, man. I might need to just bang an online situation. Let me go there
Paper
now.
Chase was the place to go for like yearly notebooks. They fell off a bit in like years, but then I found Fuji and Fuji notebooks.
You guys have just given me an
Online
idea.
is
So
online is just
But the online
you
shop's
guys,
closed.
you guys are giving me my idea for my hookup.
better not be like a moleskin.
No, forget Moleskin.
Not
Moleskin's so
Moleskine.
great, bro.
No. It's not Moleskine, but it's a good one.
All right. Should we get into it this week? Who's in the hot seat? It's been a while.
I think it might be
I'll
me
volunteer.
because I've missed. Okay,
Okay.
I've missed quite a few, so I think it might be me. But if P is a glutton for punishment,
Yeah, just because I haven't got a question.
cool.
Cool. Trying to go first, man?
Nah, I had a question for you, Robert, but it slips my mind. I need to try relocate. One for Peter.
All right. So my question, Peter, is not so much a theological one, but an opinion-based one. So on Sunday we had like a worship service where it was just like no sermon, just worship all the way through. It was really good. I wanted to ask, well, how you found it and what's your opinion of it?
I was only there for half of it.
Oh yeah, because you went away to
Because-
Kids Church, innit?
I went away to Kids Church, yeah. But no, I very much enjoyed the part that I was there for. I enjoyed the worship. Again, no, I'm not complaining. I don't get to engage as much because I'm doing the words, and you can't close your eyes and start singing because someone's looking for the words. You need to change slides.
And you can't fall asleep when you're doing it either.
I mean, you can fall asleep, but it's not recommended.
Hearing stories. I've been hearing stories about you, Peter.
Yo, I'd be tired sometimes. That drive is a long one. But yeah, no, it was really good. It was really good, and I think you almost wish for more. You almost wish it was something you could do on a more regular basis, and also like maybe even outside of a Sunday, like a worship night or something like that. Stuff like that. You long for, but I thought it was good. I always think worship is really useful because it focuses you on the solution to whatever problems you're facing. You know, at the end of the day, Christ, God, is the solution, and so I am not surprised that the apostles, in the darkest times, would sometimes just worship, because you're sitting in a prison cell. You could worry about it, you could cry about it, complain about it, or you could worship and look at the one that it's capable of breaking you out. And unsurprisingly, more often than not, they did. Or he comforted them, and then they died martyrs. So yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
Moise, how do you find it? If you just wanna give a bit a little,
yeah, and I felt it was really good.
even though you're over an hour late coming to church.
I know. I mean, we were on time for if the times wasn't shifted, but as the clock went forward, we were an hour late. So yeah, if the clocks hadn't gone forward, we would have been on time. So yeah,
Fair enough.
that's my excuse.
Wow.
That's my
That's crazy.
excuse. Yeah, I think it's been really good. In the previous church that we were in, we didn't worship wasn't regular in terms of consistent. There was it was once every month, which is a different conversation in and of itself. So to have and once every month, the whole service was just dedicated to worship. But to be in a space where we're having it like his house has it regularly, but then to still have a day where the emphasis is just on worship was good to just be in that space, especially for Gems. She is the one that really enters into worship through singing, through really engaging that way. And I know that's something that she is particularly missed. And so I am really happy, especially for her, whenever we're able to have an extended period of worship. Yeah.
I have a follow-up question.
Hmm.
Do you guys think that there are expressions of worship that should be explored more often within like a church setting?
What do you mean by expressions?
So it's like when most people think about worship, they think about song worship,
Yeah.
singing worship. Is there any other forms that worship can take that we could do, or like the body can do within a church service together? Or do you think that just for the ease, it's just easiest to do song worship as opposed to any other kind?
No, I think we can.
Is there any other kind of worship apart from song worship?
No, I think all that has breath is called to worship, and we know that not everything that has breath is able to sing. And so worship is something that isn't just vocally done, but there's something intrinsic about worship that transcends singing. I do think his house facilitates worship well, in that I see people in the back dancing, like kind of being able to kind of do their own stuff. And I do think that a wider expression of worship should be facilitated in the church more actively. And I guess practically you could do that by like something simple as like having a flip chart with some markers, some pens, some paints. So if someone wants to like draw or whatever as a means of expressive worship, could potentially do that. Ribbons or flags. So if someone wants to do like an expressive sort of dance thing, they can do that as well. And even have like miniature versions of things so that the kids can kind of get involved in that as well. So like little pads and like little flags that the kids can kind of wave, or you could just give them white handkerchiefs and stuff, take it back to the African style. And even just the freedom to be able to pick up an instrument. So whether it's a tambourine or drums or whatever, and kind of worship that way. I do feel like there's multiple ways of worshiping. For some, playing an instrument is their means of worshiping. So yeah, I do think it should be facilitated. And each person should be encouraged to engage as organically as they feel led to. And again, worshiping could be you like prostrated on your face, just laying there before God. So yeah, I do think that it should be facilitated. The different ways should be facilitated. Yeah, I'm not sure if Peter would have.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I think yeah, I think singing and song and sort of I guess worship with words, as it were, is accessible for everyone because everyone speaks, and even if everyone can't sing with a nice quality to their voice, everyone can. Most people, no, everyone can access language in whatever form it is, even if it's like sign language or
Sign
braille or
language
whatever.
or yeah.
Yeah, everyone can access language, and
I was
thus
out here putting up gang
it's.
signs.
I know, right? It's not for everyone, I think, and hence why it's sort of the default. But I think anything other than that can be done for the individual in focus or in focusing on God, in adoring, in expressing some sort of worship to Him, should be encouraged and should be open to do,
Yeah,
whether that's dancing, whether that's drawing, whatever the case. I just think it shouldn't be. Nothing should be forced. Nothing should be
yeah,
forced. Um, we have words that we can all understand. We have language that we can all access. That's, I think, a good default. And anything else that you bubble up within you, I think it's good if we have space, if we have capacity to
yeah.
allow you to express that. So, yeah.
I think
I
that's
do like
good.
something you've just. I do like something you've just flagged to my attention. Anyways, it's the corporate nature of sung worship, where it's everyone kind of joining in with the same words, hopefully with the same harmony, with the same melodies and stuff. Even if you're not able to kind of keep up with that, but with the same words, and so at that given moment in time, everyone is ideally reflecting on the same set of words, the same truth or realities around God, and so it is a corporate activity. Which if one person is like dancing, one person is flag worshipping, then it becomes more individual as
Personal.
opposed to personal, as opposed to corporate. But again, it could very well be unified by one song and everyone is engaging with that song in individual ways and personal ways. So yeah, I hadn't really
yeah. And music definitely provides a very useful vehicle for that. It provides a way for all those things to coalesce, as it were. Definitely.
Yeah. Sweet.
Cool.
So my question for Peter is almost like a two-pronged question. So the first part is the first part is infant baptism. What are your thoughts around it?
If baptism is supposed to be a proclamation of something, an infant, I think it's difficult for them to make that proclamation, because they are unaware of the proclamation being made. I don't. I'm not going to disagree with it. I'm not going to say you're going to hell or anything. But I won't be baptizing Zara on a personal level because I want her to be able to make that decision, to understand that decision and make it. So when the time comes, she when she's old enough, she can get baptized and do so of her own volition, as it were. But I do think dedications become a useful alternative to that for infants, where the parents, as is your duty as a parent, is then choosing to dedicate that child to the Lord. I think that's fine. Infant baptisms, I think, I don't think so. Yeah, at least I wouldn't be doing it myself. Yeah.
So how would you respond to the, and this is still part of the first prong, how would you respond to the thought process of infant baptism being the New Testament equivalent to circumcision on the 8th day? to make you part of the Jewish community?
Which community would it be making you part of?
The Christian community, the community of faith.
Which I don't think
By
that's
virtue of your parents being a part of this community, their parents are saying, my child is a part. Obviously, there's still that personal faith that you need to have, but baptism being the New Testament equivalent of circumcision.
I think that fails to meet the criteria that it described when it comes to baptism, which is unlike circumcision, which was to be a mark that's I don't know if other people are supposed to see it, but it's a mark for Israel and for the people of Israel, to show.
I mean, your wife is meant to see it. At
That's
least.
right.
Yo,
She was seeing it. I can tell you that for free.
why do I suddenly feel exposed? Why do I suddenly feel exposed? But in the sense of anyone that was of God's people did this thing that set them apart to the extent where Moses was even going to be killed because he hadn't done it for his kids, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think baptism is different because that was God setting his people apart, whereas baptism is, if I can say it without offending the Calvinist, it seems to be something more along the lines of, do you identify with this? Do you choose to identify with the death of Christ and his resurrection? So again, there comes something where there's I think a requirement for you to understand you're born a Jew or you choose to become a Jew. For this, it's, do you choose to do this thing to identify with Christ's death and resurrection, as opposed to this being the thing that makes you or that marks you as part of that? I don't know if that's making sense, where baptism doesn't guarantee that you are part of it in any way. And it seems to require, as far as I know, it seems to require that choice to be made and that proclamation to be made, which again, an infant isn't able to do of their own volition. The parent can do it, but does that suffice? Whereas infants in the Old Testament, or Jewish infants, have no say as to whether or not they're going to be Jewish. By being of God's people, this is the thing that you have to do, sort of thing.
I guess infants don't have a say in what nationality they're born into. So if you're born to Ghanaian parents, family Ghanaian, your heritage is Ghanaian. There are instances in the New Testament of households being baptized on account of one person's faith. There are a few instances of that. But the second part of the question is, if you don't agree with infant baptism, how would you go about what would be the requirements for child baptism, and would you stipulate a minimum age, or will it just be the meeting of certain criteria?
I think as hopefully is seen from the previous answers, it comes down to understanding. And so at the point at which the child understands, and I wouldn't recommend the minimum age, because kids' understandings are different, and depending on what they're exposed to, depending on what they see, what they're able to sort of relate it to, I dare say Zara has an understanding of substitutionary redemption in Christ just from the naughty step, because we've had that conversation. In as much as that went left for a little bit, she's kind of getting the point. And so I think it depends on, or what I would say is, does the child understand what's being communicated here? That Christ died, and in being baptized, we are identifying with that death. We are considering ourselves also dead. And as Christ was resurrected, we are considering ourselves resurrected with Christ, to live for him, because we're only resurrected in his life. We go in and die, we're buried, we're resurrected with Christ, for Christ. And if they understand that, then yeah. I think the problem would then be, are they then getting baptized every other month because they think, because they didn't understand and they think, oh, if I've sinned, I need to go and get baptized again. Or, the same thing with sort of giving your life or responding to the altar call, where you have people giving their life every other week or every other time the sermon is,
I'm
particularly
rededicating
heart-wrenching.
my life. Yeah.
So it will become a matter of understanding. I avoided baptism when I was younger because I thought once you are baptized, if you sin after that, you're going to hell. And so I was like, I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready to live without sin. So I'm gonna save it till I'm close to when I think, okay, I can do it.
Peter was still about
And
that
was
life.
I wasn't even. But
You're
that
strapped up in Ghana.
misunderstanding,
Yeah, man.
that misunderstanding, prevented me from being baptized. And so I would say it's baptism. It's understanding of the child. When the child understands what they're doing and has a good understanding of it and chooses it, then fine. Whatever age that occurs.
Sweet.
So long as they
like
understand
that.
what it is. Yeah.
I like that.
Good answer, Peter. Cool. All right, let's get into the topic for today. Depending on how it goes, we might have a couple topics. But I thought it would be good. Good.
Man's tired.
In my head, I was thinking good and fun, but they just came out as good.
Good.
So I thought it might be good or fun, whichever one you think. To start with, Mr. Majors. Mr. Jonathan Majors.
Can we not?
No, but he's best case though, so it's okay.
He's beaten a case, has he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Jonathan Majors. His name Jonathan Majors?
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors, aka the bad guy in Creed, aka
Kang the Conqueror,
Kang, that's
aka
the
He
beat.
Who Remains, aka the protagonist from The Harder They Fall, aka Lovecraft's country guy.
Yeah, that guy. He's been coming up recently, He's been doing the two movies. And then last week he gets hit with going to prison because he assaulted and strangulated some woman. Turned out it was his girlfriend. But as quickly as the charges were, or as quickly as the news came out, he's been sent to prison. Not prison, but he'd been arrested. He was out. That Disney money is strong.
You not.
But it's strong. When Disney's on your side, bruv, there's no case you can't beat. Disney money, DC money, because Ezra Miller, that guy's been getting away with murder.
Who?
Ezra Miller.
Well.
But yeah, so Jonathan Majors' bus case. The woman who was wanted to press charges has decided to retract them. All of that good stuff. Yeah. But as all of this stuff was swirling around, you get to. I find that it's in moments like this you really find out how people feel about you. Because there were some people that were just waiting for something to happen to him so they can get stuff off their chest about him. I knew he was a sociopath. People have told me that he's difficult to work with. He's done this, he's done that. These times his bust case, and now what you got? And now you've already put it out in the atmosphere.
Yeah,
that's why you gotta wait. and the thing is, the problem with cases like this, where we live in a world where it's very much guilty until proven innocent, and even if you are proven innocent, there'll always be that stain attached to you.
Yeah.
So I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about, can one ever fully be redeemed from a situation like that, or you just have to take the scar and carry it on your back forever.
It's interesting because unfortunately the news cycle, I mean, I don't even want to say now, because even back in the day, it was always the case that the more salacious headline is what gains traction, and so you have that saying of, a lie will get halfway around the world before the truth gets its pants on, as it were. So it's like a lot of these things, and unfortunately in today's age where there's so much misinformation, there's so much bad information, I think certain notions will carry on on the internet. I think what should matter to you is those that know you and those that interact with you, because those are the people who get to see who you really are, and their opinion of you is what should matter to you. Unfortunately, the opinion on the internet might never be corrected, because there's not an equal and opposite amount of effort going into saying, oh no, Jonathan Majors has beaten the case, if that makes sense. There's not the same number of YouTube videos covering this. Sorry. Yeah. There's not the same number of YouTubers that would talk about it when he was this bad or he was presented as bad, that will then say he's good. And unfortunately, the algorithm will surface the one it thinks you are more likely to engage with, which will be another narcissistic, violent man, attacks a woman. That's what's going to be around. And so you'd hope those who matter will either do the research and will find the truth, or know you enough to know the truth, and you kind of go hold that. If you can, it won't make the same difference, but if you can counter sue and punish, then do that.
Defamation.
But yeah, otherwise,
Yes.
yeah.
But
it's a madness, because obviously it's so I just quickly googled it, and apparently the lawyer presented text messages from the victim admitting fault. Now I don't know how the lawyer got his hands on them text messages and all of them things there. That's a whole different situation.
he got that Disney money.
Hey,
But
probably.
text messages to who though? Text messages
I have
to
no idea, bro.
Jonathan
to
Majors.
him, to Jonathan.
I ain't even. Yeah, so because I have heard, and I think the thing that is really unfortunate is cases like these, or not cases, but situations like these, then muddy the waters for when stuff is when there's an accusation that isn't true and it comes to light that it wasn't true, it then makes the actual situations, I don't know, it almost
Boy Who
like
Cried
sullies
Wolf. Boy Who Cried Wolf, yeah.
And it's like there was this, I heard this, and this isn't new. There was a underground train driver, who a woman accused of raping her. He lost his job. He got put on that, like, he got put in prison, all of them things there, only for the woman to say, nah, she was lying. And it's like, fam, what's going through your head? You've ruined this guy's life. If that's how it played out and it was an actual lie, you've ruined this guy's life. And now you've given people ammunition to cast doubt on anybody else who's trying to, like, yeah, but girls just lie. Like, I bet she wanted it anyways. And when she woke up and realized that or whatever, and now and I'm just like, bro, like, what's going on? So yeah, for me, like, it's the severity of the accusation, the severity of the punishment, which is warranted if the accusation is true. It shouldn't be taken lightly. It shouldn't be taken lightly. And it shouldn't just be used as I don't like this guy, I'm going to ruin his life. Or for whatever reason, it shouldn't be used like that. There's countless cases when in America, when black guys were killed because of a false accusation that they tried to sleep with a white woman or whatever. And it's just like, oh, but when it's flipped like that, we're calling racism, rightly so. But we want to flip it and run it. It's like, brother, what are we doing? Yeah.
And the thing
unfortunately, we live in a broken world. So people are going to be utilizing the system to gain revenge and blah, blah, blah. But yeah.
Yeah. And like, even when someone is proved innocent, there's always going to be those seeds of doubt in the back of people's minds, like, oh, well, there's no smoke without fire.
Yeah, or there'll be people that keep saying they've got Disney money, not helping the case.
Oh, wow, sorry, Disney money goes far. They could do some things. They could do some things. Yeah, and it's just a shame because he was just starting to rise up in Hollywood.
Bro,
and
like
I don't think he's done. Like you say, like he's done. I don't think he's done.
No, but I feel like this will, like, people won't be jumping to give him as many opportunities as they would if this hadn't come out.
Yeah. But see, this is what I mean. Yeah.
It's a mad one, yeah, because the mentality that I'm speaking about isn't particularly a hypothetical one, because I know them who speak along these lines. And I was having a conversation with one particular guy, and he was like, he doesn't believe that there's anything as gang rape. The first one is rape, all the rest are just bonus. Bro, he said this to me, bro. He said this to me, yeah. And I looked at him like, bro, you got issues. How can you say bonus?
For who?
How can bro? But again, because she's already in that position, so it's just bonus, isn't it? I'm like, bro. You got issues. And then we've got these, and it's clearly he doesn't have any sisters. But it's just
no. You know what? I feel like people like this, they can have sisters, they can have daughters, but it's like one rule for those that are close to them, one rule for everyone else.
Everybody else. Because it's like the mentality is tapped. And then they almost look for that one exception to validate their tapped mentality.
Yeah. Yeah, and like there is one side of the coin where women do lie about being abused and attacked by men, but there's the other side of the coin where almost like it's almost two sides of a coin, so maybe just like a three-sided coin, where like women will either go to the police and not be believed, or they might not even report it altogether, because one, they're scared, they won't be believed, and then people will say, "Oh, but you should have just gone and reported the person." There's no reason in those kind of situations.
Bro, do you know what? Yeah, I genuinely feel like if an accusation is made against someone, the severity of the punishment, if it is a false accusation, should be levied on the person that made the accusation.
I think it should be double. No, just because you're knowingly making accusation, knowing it's wrong, knowing that it can land this person in prison.
Yeah.
That's
I wouldn't mind a double situation. I wouldn't mind a double punishment, because even the Bible is like, or Old Testament anyways, is like, if one person makes an accusation and it ain't true, whatever punishment would have been put on the person, slap it on my man. Slap it on him. So if the alleged rapist was going to get 18 years in prison, I don't even know how much the man get. 18 years in prison. Yeah. Slap it on the gal. 18 years, you can hold that.
So what about some? So I've been watching some recent ones where people have spent like 20 years, 18 years in prison for an accusation, and then after their sentence, it's come out that actually it wasn't true.
At this point, you should be able to do to that person what you got accused of doing. I spent this much time. Let me do it, so make sure at least it was worth it. Because like people will be getting like millions from the state or whatever, but no amount of money is going to give you back that
Give you
time.
that time.
Yeah.
I feel like the person should be put in for the rest of their lives.
Bro,
Yeah.
The you know if
Bro.
it's
Yeah, because you've missed out on 18 years of your life. Fam, there's a potential that you've been raped in prison.
yeah.
What?
Bro,
On an accusation that weren't true, you got violated. Nah, I'm coming after you. Nah, I'm coming after you. What?
And the thing is,
Nah.
at that point, it's not even just the accuser. You know, there'll be police that are burying evidence. There'll be the prosecution that is hiding stuff just so it goes through.
There have to be consequences all the way through. Yeah.
Because people's lives be getting ruined for nonsense.
Yeah.
But hopefully, John Jermaine can put this behind him for the next soon, so that he can just be flying. Because it looks like he might be the next big thing. Actually, no, I take that back. I don't think he'll be the next big thing. I think he'll be like a B plus, A minus actor.
Man didn't even hit A, just B plus,
A minus.
A minus.
And like I was actually having this conversation with Andrea the other day about black movies and whether we could think of a black movie. So like a black movie, like maybe like black director, black cast, that kind of thing, that didn't play into any black stereotypes. Be it no slavery, no gangs, no baby mama drama.
Slavery is not a black stereotype.
No. What I mean by like black stereotype is, if it's a black movie,
mean like common themes?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I got a bit stressed there.
But yeah, so trying to see if you could find just one movie that didn't have any that wasn't a stereotypical quote unquote black movie in any sort of way. So like no gangs, no slavery, no baby mamas, no dance offs, no basketball.
Well said, no dance offs. But I guess what is the question? Because if you say black movie, that carries with it almost an expectation of a celebration of some aspects of black culture. Otherwise, it's just a movie. If it's about whatever it could be about. So from something like Everything Everywhere All at Once isn't a Asian movie. It was an Asian lead. I don't think it was an Asian director, but it was an Asian lead of the kung fu type old school movies with time travel. It's just a movie. It didn't play into like, any particular Asian stereotype.
Having an Asian person doing kung fu is a stereotype.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying, but it's the kung fu wasn't the point. The point was this time travel sort of exploration. And have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No. But the question is, why couldn't they be like a kickboxer or like a Muay Thai expert? Why do they have to be kung fu?
They weren't like a kung fu master. It was just that's how they're fighting. Because it's a prettier way of fighting. Otherwise, it's going to be guns. Or it's going to be, I don't know. How else will you fight? No, it's a movie. That's what. Anyway, the point I'm making is, if you say black director or black movie, it almost, for me, it almost suggests it's focusing in on something about black culture, which would be difficult to do without doing
So
anything.
so
of
like
culture.
so it's like a movie that comes to mind is like The Hangover.
Okay.
So it's like is it possible to make a movie like The Black Hangover with 4 black actors just going out on a stag do, getting drunk and all of that, and then going on an adventure?
That's Girls Trip. Girls Trip. That's
Unless you want to
essentially
say hypersexualized females, black females is a
I
black
don't know, that show was a
stereotype.
bit ratchet. From when she was from when she was hanging
Using
from the
the
thing and then
grapefruit.
urinating everywhere.
and pissing on people. Yeah, her using a grapefruit for her escapades, and she needed to come back for 2. But I
Yeah,
was
see?
thinking, and again,
2 grapefruits. Why did she need 2?
depends on
I haven't watched Girls.
the partner
Trip,
was
so-
well endowed.
Why? Because he was black.
So
Crazy.
how far are we taking it? Because I'm looking at like Equalizer, I'm looking at Deja Vu, I'm looking at
You have to go
Man
to
on
Denzel, but then
Fire.
those aren't black directors.
Those aren't black movies, though.
No.
So what
And
makes a
that's
black
what I'm like.
movie?
Is
This
it
the thing.
is
What
it a
makes
black
movie?
lead? Is it a black cast? Is it a black director? Black writer? Like
Bro,
how we?
when we see a black movie, we know what we're talking about when
No,
say
we
black
don't.
movie.
Evidently, we don't. No, evidently, we don't.
So are we talking about like a Medea type situation?
Medea
Tyler
or
Perry.
Black Chick or like Best Man's Holiday.
Best Man's Holiday.
or-
Okay.
See, but then they fall into it almost like all those movies you say, and they fall into a category for me. They fall into a category that defines the type of movie it's going to be.
Yeah,
And
yes.
interestingly, something like a Wakanda for Black Panther
Ooh.
almost fails
Photographer,
to
the
do
photographer.
that.
The photograph.
No,
The
I haven't
photograph.
seen that.
I haven't heard of that movie before.
So the photograph, it's on Amazon Prime, I believe. When a famed photographer dies unexpectedly, she leaves her estranged daughter angry and full of questions. I'm reading the IMDb. Let me copy the link into the group.
Oh, actually, what's that film with Idris Elba and Beyonce?
Was it Deadly something? And the one, the white lady from Heroes.
Yeah.
Session?
Would we count The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston as a black
Whitney
movie?
Houston, I was gonna say.
No. Because that was
This
just
is
a
my
movie
thing,
with
though.
like a black lead.
No, this is my thing though. If you say black movie, you are talking about some black stereotype.
But you don't have to be, no, but why does it have to be a stereotype for it to be a black movie? Why can't it be a black, like a black director make with black actors telling a story about someone going to, you know what? I was like, there was a movie.
Because then it wouldn't be a black movie.
No, because
by
it's
definition.
black people making a film just about something that's not stereotypical black people. Because black
So
people are more.
in that case, then let's go Nollywood, because Merry Men is not about Merry Men. It's not about anything stereotypical. It's about grafters. It's about like a leverage type deal, or like Ocean's 11 but with Nigerian actors.
That sounds terrible.
It's not that bad. The fighting in it is terrible. The fighting is absolutely
Is
terrible.
there any juju?
Plus, there's no juju.
Are
No,
there weapons
no
on
juju.
juju?
no, there's no
They're
juju.
not.
There's like
They're not levitating on like strings and stuff. Them man have got the
No.
cool charms and that. And You see them?
No.
Aladdin's flying carpet
You
trying to go get the
racist. You racist reductionist. No.
thing.
No. It's legit almost Ocean's 11, but with Ramsey Noah and a bunch
A
of
lower
Nigerian
budget.
actors, lower budget, and trying to do kung fu, but no one kicks above the waistline. Yeah. But if that's the case, that's all black cast, all black director, or all
Alright,
black
I'll take
director,
that.
What the hell?
I'll take that one. I'll take that.
But okay, well, if you take that, then fine. It's just that doesn't fit.
I think my
into
point
your
is,
got
like,
one
on
on
black
Brown
movie.
Sugar.
I want there to be more movies like that where it's not just
That's half of Nollywood.
they're in the hood trying to get out, or
That's
they're
mostly America as
enslaved.
well.
Yeah, but
And that's a reflection of their art imitates life. That's a reflection of what they do.
yeah, but why can't it be art imitates imagination? Why do you have to? Why can't you come up?
Okay. This one, the one with Oprah. It was like a fantasy one. Oh, it's girls.
Oh
I
yeah,
forget.
A Wrinkle in Time.
A Wrinkle in Time, or even a Christmas
Disney
one
Plus.
with Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
Jingle Jangle. That had Afrobeats in it, and it didn't have any.
A
sort of
Wrinkle in
black
Time was
stereotypes.
dope. A Wrinkle in Time was
Yeah.
sick.
I
was
haven't
sick.
even watched it.
The
It
girl's
has
dad
Oprah
was
in it, so I
white,
didn't want to
though.
watch
The
it.
girl's dad was white though, but
But I
was
mean, with these black movies, they
Oh, that's
always have
okay.
a
That's
white.
okay. Yeah,
They always have a white
There was
token
like one.
person.
Yeah, one white token person
for diversity.
who's down with the culture.
thing. Imagine that. Like for a black movie, they needed a token.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they
to
do
show
that
it-
all the time now. That's why you always have the gay interracial couple in all adverts. It just covers a lot of bases.
Yeah.
It just covers all the bases.
It really
You know,
does.
I've been seeing wheelchairs a lot more these days, trying to get that that disability included in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I just think the point I was trying to make was black people don't have to be the stereotypes. If you wanna like there was one movie on Netflix about one black guy and he wanted to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
The movie was rubbish, but they were trying.
Yeah, I
Try
remember that
more.
one.
Oh.
Try more. And like Jordan Peele,
Do you know what?
like he's trying as well. Nope was terrible.
Yeah. What's it? Get Out? Well, I mean, it does play into black stereotypes, doesn't it? But yeah.
That plays straight into it. I have heard people say the blacks are the only race that profits from their trauma.
Yeah.
That's not entirely true.
It is mostly true.
Perpetually, in terms of making films, making music, most of the entertainment content that's coming from the predominantly black American side is profiting from their trauma. Most of the black American music now is, or not just now, but it's gang, sexual exploitation, whatever. And then the movies are just rehashing
Look at my wrist. The wrist is freezing.
exploitation. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think black people are better than this, but we're choosing not to be.
Because it's I hope we don't get cancelled for this, but you don't see other cultures like perpetually making content and stuff around the atrocities done to them.
You kind of do. I mean, look at a lot of the sort of old school Asian epics, as it were. You know, if it's not mythology, it's overcoming the oppression of either if it's China, the Japanese, or if it's the Japanese, it's the English. Like they do that. If you look at
even Ip Man kind of has some of those notions in it as well.
You know,
more recently.
Have there been any Jewish Holocaust movies?
And I was gonna go there, but I was like, I might get cancelled if I say it the way I wanted to say it.
I said this for you, bro.
Yeah. Mine wouldn't have been tactful, boy. Mine wouldn't have been that tactful.
we kind of, but yeah. I think part of the whole hip hop culture and stuff like that ends up being a reflection of what's going on. However,
Yes.
what's going on has ended up being a result of a lot of these things, a result of a lot of the so fair, but we're not the only culture that does it. And I say we, black culture isn't the only one that does it.
Yeah. But to be fair, I don't think many of us watch a lot of novellas and like TV shows outside of our race like that. You know?
Yeah, we do.
No, but
I used
Esmeralda.
I used to bang novellas, Esmeralda, Sunset Beach.
Sunset
I used
Beach.
to bang that, bro.
Oh, Sunset Beach was the one. But like calling it though, jeez. And Caitlin, yo.
Bang, hey, what? Even Knight Rider, all of them, bro. What?
Bro,
Yo,
when it turned out it was,
Bay. I need to
it was just a dream. I
Bay.
was so upset.
Acapulco Bay. Oh my god, bro. Even the little ones, like and then moving away from them, like the little ones, like Murder She Wrote.
Murder She Wrote.
What's it? Columbo. All of them ones there, yeah.
Poirot, Keeping Up Appearances.
Poirot.
And we were going
Keeping
a
Up
different way,
Appearances.
but yeah.
What?
One Foot in the
we are going
Grave.
slightly different way, but yeah.
40 Towers.
Like, yeah. Monty Python.
Come on.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
even in Ghana, the Anansi Stories, there was a program with the Anansi Stories. I've forgotten what it was called.
By the Fireside.
By the Fireside. That's it.
With Mama Duckno.
Yeah, and even Taxi Driver. Oh, what?
Taxi Driver.
What?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes. Yeah.
The content was sick. Yeah, bro. And again, I think it's demographics and location and stuff, geography and that.
Yeah.
Most of the American imported stuff is like well, not most of them, some of them perpetuating some of the stuff. But if you diversify outside of the American culture, you will find a bit more wholesome stuff.
Yeah.
America's just a cesspool. I feel like the world would be such a better place if America didn't exist.
Mad.
That's not genocide.
Genocide
talk.
Please, before America existed, Britain had gone around doing crusades and hurting people for no reason. So we're not.
I swear it was Britain that like even like went over to America and started like the genocide over there, and then
sent a bunch of people over there. Like, no, we're not that great.
We're not great at all. We're just Britain.
Not that great. I mean, even Scotland and Ireland are trying to break away.
Come on.
Is the Scottish First Minister?
Asian,
he's like Indian.
Yeah, Indian or something. Yeah,
it's good.
Nice.
It's good. We're showing that they can do it.
I mean, Richie Sunak tried to do the same thing.
Wow, one Richie Sunak, bro. He's the pagan.
Richie Sunak lost because they didn't want him, and then the person that came in was just so incompetent. All right,
bro, that's like when like you try and move to a girl, she doesn't like you, but then the guy she does like rejects her, so she comes back to you.
She comes back to you, yeah.
Brother.
Move on. Well, anyway.
Then you get to flex. You get to flex a little piece.
Right, I think we should round up because I don't have much more. Well, I did have something else to talk about, but maybe that could be for another day.
Cool.
It could be for another day. Hookups. Oh, are you guys coming on Saturday?
I'm gonna try touch.
I won't be able to come. Yeah.
Leia's got a theatre production on Saturday, so we'll see.
I guess I'm going all by myself then.
Yeah, I won't be able to come.
If I am going, I'll be going from your old ends. But I'll shout you.
Mm.
Gems is trying to make it go. So see. I got
Yeah,
my
I just trying to
hookup.
make me go as well.
Yeah, I got my hookup ready.
Socializing. Ew. What's that? Okay, I'm going for it, Moses.
I just had to update Spotify. It's a P Money freestyle.
Nice. I like it already.
Let me just get him up.
Until you said freestyle, I still didn't know if you were like giving out an acronym or something. I was like, what's going on?
So P Money, Novelty, and Scars freestyle. So there's 2 different freestyles on the same drop. It's on Spotify, but he's actually got a video on YouTube with both tracks on the same video. It's about 5 minutes long. Sick.
What's it called? P Money.
No,
P Money,
that's his
the
name.
artist,
Yeah, P Money's
and
Novelty
the thing
and
itself is called Novelty / Scars, which is SKARZZ freestyle.
Let's spells. Cool. SKARZZ.
Yes.
All right. That's going to be a waste of time. My hookup. My hookup, because we're talking about notebooks. The only notebooks I buy now, Dingbats. So is these
Ew, what's
sustainably
that?
produced? This is the purple hippo because I get it and match it with my Parker pen. So this is the purple one. I've got they come in so many different colors: orange, blue, green, red.
Hold on, Peter. Can I just
Do they
say?
have an A5 version?
I'm not sure. This is B5. I think they've got an A4, and I think they've got an A. Yes, they've got an A5 version.
Peter, can I just say, if the color of the book and pen is exactly the same, it's not matching.
It doesn't matter. It's all purple. I'm happy.
No, but it's not matching. It's not matching.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. It doesn't matter what you
Oh no,
say. I'm happy with it.
you'll be happy, but it's just you can't say it's matching.
It matches. It's violet and it's purple.
What's it called again, Noah? I mean, I said Noah. Peter.
That's tired. Dingbats notebooks. Yeah, they're really nice. I don't know. But they're really nice. That's Wombat. Yeah, that's Wombat. And they donate to some animal charity. I think a percentage of their income. It's sustainably produced. It's like a faux leather type case, you know, with a thing and a pen loop, and really nice colors. And yeah, I like this size as well. It's a B5 size, so I've got all the colors, and this is the ones I use. So that's my hookup.
So
Dingbats notebooks
is a stupid or eccentric person. Figures. That's a match, Peter. Laugh at my jokes, you heathens. You see haters, yeah? Haters will always try to pull you down. But that's why you have to believe in your own source. You have to believe. Otherwise, you'll just be going through life being depressed, thinking that you're not funny when you are hilarious. Don't let the haters bring you down. What did Christina Aguilera say? You are beautiful. No matter what they say, words can't bring you down.
I wouldn't quote Christina Aguilera as any source of wisdom, but okay.
You're being sexist, Peter. Be careful.
It's not about her being a woman. It's about her being Christina Aguilera.
Mad.
That's misogynistic, just so you know. Anyway.
That's quoting all the words.
I saw was this video I saw on YouTube. There was a guy holding like a women for Trump sign, and then this woman came up to him and was like, I think it's kind of funny that you're here holding up this sign as a guy. And then he was like, did you just assume my gender? And you're like, oh, good point. Right, when you play this game, you have to play for real. Peter, you're
Hey, it's
muted.
a whole can of worms right now, you know. It is a whole can of
I was gonna
worms
say-
right now.
It's so funny seeing Piers Morgan play that game with some of the people. It's like, why can't I be a two-spirit penguin? You said everyone can be whatever they want.
And you see
I
one
said
way,
all this.
and you see one way was like, why can't I be a black lesbian?
And I was like, oh. Yeah.
That's funny. Cool. My hookup is a game called Monica's. It's kind of like Articulate.
I thought you were
But
about
it's-
to hook up I thought you were about to hook up the Harry Potter game.
Nah. Hogwarts Legacy. That's busting. But yeah, Monica's is a better version of Articulate. Some of the problems with Articulate is if you don't know what the words are, it can be hard to kind of describe them. But the way Monica's works is, it comes with a whole batch of cards, and then everyone that's in the game gets to pick like 5 or 10 cards, and so the deck is made up of cards that everyone chooses to play with. So between you know what your answers are to all the questions. And it's a 3-round game. First round, like no Articulate, you like try and describe something for people to try and guess. If you don't know what it is, it even comes with some like description text that you can just read out. So that's really helpful. It's the first round.
Nice.
Second round, using the same deck of cards again, you have to try and describe it only using one word. And so obviously you've like gone through the first round, and so everyone should know what all the words are. And so you're trying to find what one word can describe this thing for people to guess. Last round is no words, just actions, charade style. And again, you know the words, you're trying to figure out what it is that people are trying to do. And it's a lot of fun, it's really inclusive. And so just a good time. So Monica's. I think that's it. Ooh, this comes out on Monday, doesn't it? Or thereabouts, which means WrestleMania will be over. It's WrestleMania weekend this weekend. We might have a new undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world, Cody Rhodes. And then undisputed champions, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. It's going to be great.
Hey, man, I'm gonna go sleep.
Shout out to introductions at Calvin Turner, Audrey, Emma's logo, Twitter at Defense UK, email at tbsfurnace.com, Instagram at tbsfurnace, soundcloud.com/Blackstone Furnace, no apostrophe, on all good podcast websites and apps, the Blackstone Furnace with an apostrophe, and that's it. So this is the Blackstone Furnace signing out.